And now we can explain the concept of Yehonathan and David. שזה מורל המשחש מבחינת י"ב צירופים הוויה הנקרא יהונתן. That this is the concept of the 12 combinations of the letters of Shem Havaya, which is called Yehonathan, like was explained. David, which is drawn down and shines into David. That he's the concept of the moon, the concept of speech, of Malchus. Vini Malchus, Atzilus, who Shem Kel. Now Malchus of Atzilus is Shem Kel, Shin Daled Yud. V'hu Shem Havaya b'nikud malupam chulu. And that's the name Havaya, and the nikud malupam also corresponds with Malchus. So Kel Shin Daled Yud, as well as Havaya and malupam. Aval kisha Malchus mis dateres bebria az Shem Havaya shabahu b'nikud chirek. But when Malchus goes down into the world of Bria, it's no longer malupam. It then gets chirek underneath, or cholem. A dot underneath and a dot above, whereas the malupam is the dot in the middle. Find Yehuda, Yehuda. Becholem. Like the statement in the Zohar HaKadosh, he is in Netzach and she is in Hod. Which Cholim corresponds to Cholim Uchirik. Cholim Uchirik or Cholim are Netzach and Hod. So that's what the Malchus, the Shem Havaya that was in that comes from Malchus or corresponds with Malchus, changes to as it goes down into Bria. Like it says, now I will acknowledge Hashem Oda with Acholim. David, Malchus to Bria, and that's the concept of David, the concept of Malchus of the world of Bria, and in Bria, Yehonathan is the concept of Yisod Zah. So in Malchus in the world of Bria also receives from Yehonathan, which is the concept of Yisod in that world of Bria. Yisod Zah d'Atzilus nekra Yosef u'bechinas mashpi ale Malchus d'Atzilus kidu, that just like in Atzilus, the concept of Yisod corresponds with Yosef and gives to Malchus. Like we said, it goes down into the Shvatim. Kach bechinas Yisod Zah d'Bria nekra Yehonathan u'bechinas mashpi ale Malchus d'Bria. So too the concept of Yisod Zah of Bria in comparison is Yehonathan, and it gives the Malchus of Bria, which in comparison is David. And that's why Yehonathan said to David, tomorrow is the moon, and you will be remembered. You'll have the hashpa and hamshacha into you. On the chodesh, to give into Malchus, which corresponds with the moon, the renewal of the moon, and a new hamshacha into it. And the reason that he's called Yehonathan from the language of a gift, is that the light of Atzilus is already, so to speak, removed from Atzilus when it's enclosed within the six sides, the six midos of the world of Bria. And he uses the Vav Tzavos in terms of the six directions, because we're talking about the three-dimensional, the six directions of the three dimensions that you can have the diagonals on. ועל דרך משל המתנה שנותנים לאדם שעושה בה מה שחפץ. And this is comparable to a gift that you give to a person and they do what they want with it. That's the concept of its nivdal. It's separate from above, meaning to say it no longer belongs to above, it's yours now, you can do what you want. Because the gift has a separation and a distance from the one who gave it. Which is not the case with a portion, that he divides light and flow from his essence, that this light is still attached and tied to his essence. And like it's known the difference in the blessings between cholak mechachmaso, that he divided from his wisdom to basar v'dam, or cholak nasan mikvodo, or he gave from his honor. That cholak mechachmaso is still attached to Hashem, but he nasan mikvodo, as he gave it, and there's this covered on its own, so to speak. The cholak mechachmaso lireav, that he divided from his wisdom to those who fear him. So that's a portion of his essence. Those who fear him are still attached to his essence. V'nasan mikvodo, and he gave from his essence, from his honor. This giving of his honor it comes in a separation. It's fairly obvious that a king, his honor is not as so to speak attached to Hashem as those who fear Hashem and their understanding and wisdom. They're obviously going to be more attached to Hashem. Naturally. It doesn't, not to say that a king can't also be. But the concept of the honor of the king is in this way. So to the one who thinks can understand above, the beginning of the sham, that in the 6 midos of the world of Bria, 6 attributes of Bria, the name Havaya over there, Shu Osios Yud Kei Vav the Yehonathan, which are the 3 letters of Yud Kei Vav of the name Yehonathan. Nikra Nesina, it's a concept of giving. Of a Nasan, Bibichinas Piru, the concept of separation, Min Hatzilus Atzmo, in comparison to Hatzilus itself. Mikol Shechein, Shebechinas Yisod Za, the Bria Mashpia La Malchus the Bria, and how much more so if Yisod Za of Bria is giving to Malchus the Bria, Bibichinas Gilu Yesh Mayin Chulu, in the concept of a revelation of something from nothing. And that's why this concept is called Yehonathan. The Yisod of Bria is called Yehonathan. Haga, and a comment, L'tzarech Ion, but this needs to be looked into. That in another place it implies that a gift is actually not a lessening of something, like it's implied here that it's a concept of purity from the mashpia, but it's a language of a chashivus. It's a if you're given a gift, it's because of it's an honor, so to speak, to get the gift. It's an importance. Like our sages said, that there were 3 things that are given as a gift to the world: the luminaries, the rains, and the Torah. Like it's brought in Medrash in these places, and on the verse, and I've given you rains in their times. That it says specifically, I've given you rains. V'chein Shabbos Amru Razal Matana Tova Yeshli B'Beis Gnazai V'Shabbos Shmachulu. So to our sages said that the Eibishter says, I have a good gift in my hidden treasure houses, and its name is Shabbos. B'makom hacher Shu Isrusad L'Eila M'Bechina She'in Isrusad L'Sata Magas Sham. And another place it explains that the concept of a gift is an arousal from above, that the arousal from below cannot reach there to awaken. That's why it's called a gift. So too, in another place it explains this medrash that my hidden treasure house is the concept of the 10 hidden spheros. Within Keser, a higher level, that's the concept of the gift coming from the higher level. And the Maharsha explains that this is the great hidden, great good that's hidden and no eye has seen. And I guess the Maharsha explaining this Agada. I don't know if there's a Maharsha on Midrash Rabbah, but Mistam in the Gemara somewhere. Look what it says about this gift with where in the Maamar, when you go out to battle, with the concept of the one who kills the snake, they're given the daughter of the king, Yahavinle, specifically they're given as a gift, the daughter of the king. This love of Hashem. Look what it says in the Maamar, I am sleeping in Shir Shirim when explaining the verse, open for me and I will open for you, like the opening of the Ulam. Again, a concept of Isrusa de La'ela. It's beyond the Isrusa de L'Sata. And similarly, it says, and Elohim will give you from the dew of the heavens, and the concept of dew is that which does not stop, it's not dependent on our efforts. It just continues regardless. Shulamaylam is that it's above the arousal from below. So too in the Likutei Torah, from the Arizal and Pinchas, it says that an inheritance is in the 7 lower levels. Say that there's no stopping it. That come is the concept of the root. That's an inheritance. And a gift is the 3 first spheros. It corresponds with so it's higher than Yerusha. A gift is higher than an inheritance in this sense. So since it's from a higher level, that's why a gift sometimes is given and sometimes not, whereas an inheritance is always going to happen in comparison. That the concept of a gift goes away by when there's sin. So if we're talking about godly revelations, if it's the concept of Yerusha, like the Ahava Mesoteras, the hidden love that we have, it doesn't go away. It's always there. But if you're given a gift of some kind of inspiration or revelation, it can go away when you sin. And that's the concept of a matana. And that comes from the 3 first levels in comparison to the Yerusha, which is from the 7 lower. Imkin mevor mizeh. If so, it's understood from this, the hamatana hi bechina gavoa, that the gift is a higher concept. Is a high concept. Like it says in the Likutei Torah in the Maamar Hazinu, where it explains the soul that you have given within me. The concept of your soul is given. And it also explains the verse, the Varuach Tashuv, that the spirit returns to the Elokim that gave it. Again, implying that the neshama, the ruach, is given as a gift, and that's a high thing. Look what it says about the concept. And from the desert, you're given a gift, which usually refers to the Torah given in the desert. But again, that's as a mila, as a good thing. Vain b'me'orior osmem sif kufir aleph binyan matana. Look in me'orior at the concept of a gift. We can say, so we have this contradiction that we explain the concept of a matana is the idea of pirud, separation from the giver, whereas we just brought all these proofs how there's the matana is a good thing, and we can say that certainly it's true that a gift has this importance, like we explained. And this root and the source of the concept, why then does it seem the opposite from this bracha where we say that he gave it from his honor? And in Israel we use a different language, shechalak, that he divided. Because of so Magen Avram says, why does it use chelik? Because we're a part of Hashem. We're a chelik of Hashem. V'devekim bo, and attached to him. L'chein omer shechalak. Therefore, we say that he divided. And the Taz adds there, like it says, when he inherits, when he inherits to the nations, he divides. So the language we use for the nations is division, whereas the language we use for Israel is chalak, a chelik, a portion of al zeish lahashiv. But on this we can answer. There's a difference between one kind of gift and another. Like it says in Chumash, that Abraham gave everything that belonged to him to Yitzchak. That Abraham gave to the sons of the concubines gifts. So we have two kinds of gifts. The gift to Yitzchak, which is everything, and gifts that Abraham gave to his other sons of the concubines, which is obviously, so to speak, a so to speak, just a participation award, an honorable mention, so to speak. Our sages said that he gave them a name of Tuma. Look what it says in the Medrash Rabbah about this. And there it says, this that Avram finished with, that is the word vayitain. With this, Yitzchak began his bracha to Yaakov. And Hashem should give you from the dew of the heavens. So vayitain eskol shelo Yitzchak was the ending, and the beginning of it was vayitain l'cha Elokim mital hashamayim. They were connected to each other. The giving, the gift of Avram to Yitzchak, and the gift of Yitzchak to Yaakov. Alkein adkan ayin sham delu kashmidi. Look over there. It's not difficult to be Gemara beperek tinyana de brachos shenamar. The matana ina mal yusa. That there it says in the Gemara in brachos that a gift is not something good. That's when it's in a concept of that he gave a gift to the sons of the concubines. And like our sages said, that Shlomo HaMelech had 80 concubines. They are from families who worship the Avodah Zarah that were converted. We know Shlomo HaMelech converted all of those who came under his umbrella, like the Rambam says. In Viamer Yehonathan, which is not the case with this higher level of gift. like that Yehonathan said, that this gift has 3 letters of Hashem's name. If so, that's the higher level. That's the gift that's given to Yitzchak. That's what it says, that he gave everything of his to Yitzchak. Also, this that it says that a gift has an end, a division. Nizkar Baba Basra Perek Yud Nun Daf Kuf Kaf Tasamad Beis V'Daf Kuf Kaf Lamad Gibon Sof Amad Aleph Be Choshen Mishpat Simen Reish Mem Ches. Look in these places about it. Arei Sham Gufa Amrud Matana L'Mishuroi L'Yoshor Ein Lahefsek. But in these places itself, where the halacha talks about the difference between a gift and an inheritance, it says that if you give a gift to someone who's fitting to inherit you, it also has the same quality as an inheritance. It doesn't end. And by Israel it says that it's an inheritance for the congregation of Yaakov. So when Israel gets a matana, it's a different level than when others get a matana, because we already inherit. Ve'amar azal Sanhedrin daf tzadik alaf suf amud beis murashe hilu chol Yisrael misheshis mibreshis. It says in Sanhedrin that's an inheritance to all of Israel from the 6 days of creation. Look at me Ore, what it says about Yerusha. And the Likutei Torah from the Arizal, it says that they're inheriting the 7 kings of Tohu that died. When he talks about Yerusha, I guess it's the concept of elevating the sparks and getting that light. That's what it means, Murash Akilas Yaakov. It's something that really belongs to us, but so to speak, fell down somewhere else and we inherit it. I guess when you elevate the sparks, you could say, I'm doing something new, I'm getting something new, I'm getting a gift, I'm digging something out, I'm finding something. But no, really, Magia Lecha is something that belongs to you as an inheritance. Look what it says in Medrash Tilim on the song for Nechilos, which usually is translated as a type of musical instrument, but Nechilos is also from the language of Nachla, of inheritance. Therefore, a gift in this way also doesn't have an end. Therefore, we also say that he divided from his wisdom to those who fear him. That is, that even though the Torah came down into the lower worlds of a place of division, it's still attached to its source. So that's to point out that he divided from his wisdom. That the chalak mechach maso is hinting to the fact that even when the Torah comes down into the worlds of Biah, it's still attached. And in it is enclosed supernal wisdom of Atzilus, that inside of that is included the infinite light. And like it says in Torah or an explanation of Veil Mishpatim Binyan Moshe Lo Psik Taima, how there's no line of division between the two names of Moshe when Hashem calls out to him. That meaning to say there's no hefsek between the higher and the lower levels. There's a straight attachment, a straight amshacha, that just as it is in the higher levels, so too it's drawn down into the lower. Look what it says in Truma, when I gave you a good portion, there it also uses the word portion, a lekach. Meaning to say that the seller himself is also sold with the product he gave you. Meaning to say when Hashem gave us, so to speak, the Torah, he sold us the Torah, he gave himself with it too. Like we're saying here, that Yehonathan it has Hashem's name in it. That it's not just a regular gift, but we're getting the Eibishter too. We're getting the Yud Kei Vav in this Nesina. Ish letaretz, we can answer al derech mashkas b'Torah or b'Parshas Yisro. So if the Bora Maskal bir al pasuk Moshe daber gabek v'Moshe kasu beidra rabba daf kuflam and bezamur alef binyan tlas alamin. And look in Torah or it brings from the idra rabba that there's three worlds. The nafkin tikun akadmochel, that come from the first tikkun, the tikkun edikna. That in order to bring down the light so far to the worlds of Bria, it needs to come from the highest place. Why are the three worlds? So I guess the question is, why are the Tlas Alamin, I guess, is the worlds of Bria Tzira Siya. Why are they coming from Tikkun HaKadma? Why are they coming from the first Tikkun, the highest level? So it explains that in order to bring down to the lowest worlds, you have to come from the highest place. Ein Shum, look over there. So too, in order to draw down the Torah into the place of division, which is the concept of the name Yehonathan, you have to draw it down from a higher place. And that is to draw down from a gift that comes from a higher place, I guess the higher level of gift. Like we said, that the gift comes from the Gimel Rishonos in comparison to Yerusha, which is Ein Tachtonos, and all the other milos of the concept of the higher gift. Like he said. So in short, you have this concept of Yehonathan, which is the idea of that a gift has an end, a division, that the Torah is drawn down into the world of division. And in the comment we explained the Yesh Matana, that there's one gift and there's another kind of gift, a higher and a lower. Like the concept of how Avraham gave everything that was his to Yitzchak, which is not the case to the sons of the concubines and so forth.